Hey guys, Jack here. I want to talk about Biklonz. These this was made by the same people who made the Tobot and Athlon series. I'll get into those series like another day. But for now, it's about this old alien woman named Harmony who comes from another planet with a robotic boombox named Boxon, who recruits this Boxer, who recruits this family to fight for her. There's Geo, the fourth child, Co, the second child, Mio, the third child, and Pio, the fifth child. Ooh, sorry. So anywho, they have these partners called Psi Sprites, which exist in changers. They use these cards to activate their powers and summon their mechs. Basically, they input the card into the changer, scan it, and activate it. It's sort of like a phone password, I think, for a Samsung phone. It's sort of like the dot password you use for a Samsung phone. Anyway, Geo is partnered with Brocky, Co is partnered with Apex, Mio is partnered with Toxa, and Pio is partnered with Shade. Now, they transform into bike loaders, and their bikes transform into action bikes. Basically, they're just some bikes with some cool designs. And when they're not using their mechs, they have the ability to use cycling. Basically, energy discs that launch from the wheels of their bikes. It can launch in one, they can combine to make a big one, or they can launch multiple ones. So, now we'll get into the mechs. These mechs are based off the constellations, and in Season 1, there were just 4 of them. There was Taurus, Leo, Aries, and Scorpio. They were labeled 1 through 4 in the order that I named them in. It's not, well, you know what I mean. And so they have different attacks, and they have the ability to combine. This is sort of like Power Rangers, except replace them with kids. I'm not going to get into that. That's for another day. Anywho, so when they combine, most time Scorpio and Leo will form the arms, body, arms, and head. Sorry about that. And Aries and Taurus will form the waist, legs, and feet. And sort of these backpacks to hold weapons. But that's besides the point. So, anyway, when you combine Aries and Leo, they form Biklonz Arrow, who has the ability to fly, I forgot attacks. Okay, there's a lot of these, so I'm just gonna go with the most powerful, their finishers. But so, Taurus has a cannon. Leo has the ability to summon multiple energy lions. Aries has the power to ram into her opponents. And Scorpio's Stinger can paralyze an enemy. So back to the combinations. Like I said, if you combine Leo with Aries, you get Biklonz Arrow, who has the ability to fly, shoot missiles out of its chest, and can use the lion's shoulder to form a special cannon I like to call the Leo Mega Roar. Now, when you combine Scorpio with Taurus, you get Biklonz Hurricane. So it has a rifle in its little backpack. I don't know what its finishing move is called, but I like to call it the Containment Burst, because it forms this little shield, but it can also use Bubble Trap. Basically, they're bubbles that can contain small explosions, and when these attacks are used together, it forms like a big energy bubble dome sphere thing that basically takes giant explosions and compresses it until it's nothing. Now, in Season 2, the eldest, who I think is called, it's Teo, gets a new Biklonz that Boxer ordered, named Silver. They control Biklonz Ursa, and if you've seen Power Rangers today, You know, it can transform into its own like that. Now, it doesn't. Now it has a slash attack, but it also has what I like to call the Ursa Energy Whip, where it basically takes. Where basically, when Teo pedals his bike fast enough, he can transfer some of Ursa's energy into other Bikloners. Now, in Season 2, they can all combine to form Biklon Infinity. Since Ursa transforms on its own, it forms the main body, the waist, the thighs, and it gets a little helmet that kind of reminds you of a biker's helmet. Well, a bicycle helmet. Leo and Taurus form the Leo and Scorpio form the arms and hands, while Aries and Taurus, there we go, form the feet and legs. So basically, they have all these cool attacks. Hang on. Like the Infinite Crusher, it's a giant energy mallet. What I like to call the Heavens Cannon. Basically, they can summon a giant energy cannon to blow enemies away. And they also have infinite control. Now, to activate this, they have to be thinking the same thought or having the same emotions, which isn't easy because while they're doing this, it leaves them vulnerable. But when they do, they can all put infinity together, and it makes them super powerful. Now, in Season 3, most of it stayed the same, but they did change up the combinations. They took Aries and Scorpio to make Biklon Ghost. It has little tops in its shoulder that could amplify gravity around an enemy for a short amount of time. And what I like to call this gravity, it's called the Ghost G-Force. And it also has a special die, which I like to call the dice random, which basically whatever it flops onto, an attack happens. Mostly it's a bomb. Not a big one, a small one to do damage to opponents. And just like Scorpio and Aries, Leo and Taurus also have a new combination called Eclipse. It has Eclipse Light Speed, where basically it can move faster than the opponent can see it at for about a minute. Yeah, a minute. And there's the Eclipse Thunderbolt, where basically it summons purple and yellow thunder and fires it at its opponent. Now, for the first 3 seasons, it remained the same. First, these alien guys from Harmony's homeworld came to find her and capture her. They hired this general to create monsters for them. Then there were these Power Rangers-like ripoffs who kind of controlled their owns. They're based on starfishes, mosquitoes, armadillos, something else. Oh, and elephants. Basically, they're like the Bikloners, but instead of having bikes, they sort of have those little vehicles you see mall cops use. So anyway, after that, the alien guys get released because they were taken to prison by this alien, which I like to call Baba, who has the ability to summon what I like to call mecha monsters. No, wait, that's Final Core. Another day. Mech beasts. There we go. Who are basically stronger than whatever they faced before. And what's worse is, Geo and Seo have lost their ability to summon Leo and Scorpio. Basically, this woman named Alice calls and say, "Oh, hey, other people are using your Bikloners now, sorry." Then this strange delivery guy comes in and gives them motion changers. Basically, they insert metals and it allows them to transform. So what's different with this is when they transform into their Bikloner armor, it has degrees of new colors, and it's mostly white and looks like new armor. Their action bikes are the same, but reborn in their colors. And they get the ability to summon Mega Bees. Basically, they're much more powerful than their old Bikloners. Geo gets Direwolf, who has the ability to use fire, and Seo gets a saber-toothed tiger, who has the ability to control... Oh, no, wait, it just has energy attacks. Interpret that as you will. So basically, these two can combine to form Cross Attacker. It's basically a giant X-shaped robot. I think Sabretooth forms the left side and Direwolf forms the right. While they forms the right arm, Sabretooth forms the left arm and right leg, while Direwolf forms the right arm and left leg, and of course, Sabretooth has the head. So what's cool is their tails are like weapons, and it's inverse. The Sabretooth side can use the Direwolf's tail to form the Cut-Eye Blade, which allows them to use energy attacks. And the Direwolf side gets the Sabretooth tail, which is the Pyro Drive, which is it's an upside-down hell blaster that shoots fireballs. And they combine their weapons to form the Pyro Blade, basically a longer sword coated in fire. So after a while, they all get motion changers. Mio gets an Argent Travis, which she's rocky at first, but she basically gets it. It has the ability to use thunder. Pio gets Mammoth, who is really hesitant at changing on Scorpio, but he eventually does get it and can use powerful attacks and ice attacks. And Teo gets a giant elk, so basically now he's around the team full time. And these three can combine to form Thunder Guardian. Teo forms the body and the head. Mio forms the arms and hands with her claws forming the hands. And Pio forms the waist, feet, and legs. So basically, they get an energy club with energy spikes that they can launch. And a Guardian Shield, which basically forms a giant energy shield, and it can leave it in one place. Now, like before, they all have the ability to combine. Giant Elk, Mammoth, and Archer Travis stay in the same place, while Direwolf and Sabretooth... Direwolf forms the left arm, and Sabretooth forms the right. While it gets a bike helmet with horns that look like bike pedals, this is known as Mega Beast Barbarian King, and has the Great Axe Catastrophe, which is basically the combined weapons of Direwolf, Sabretooth, Mammoth, and Argent Travis. Cross Attacker and Thunder Guardian. Anywho, now before the 5th season, it was a special that saw a dragon, and it turns out the reason the others lost their ability to summon their bike cloners is because another team of bike cloners were using them on another planet. So they met one of these new bike cloners and her Cyber Sprite. Oh, before I get any farther, they have these new weapons called Chaos Pistols. No, Chaos Blasters. Basically forms a shotgun, a rifle, and a scope rifle. So anyway, they get the ability to use the equivalent of infinite control, and just like before, they had to be thinking the same thing or feeling the same emotions. Now, in Season 5, a mysterious island just vanishes, and all this vegetation appears. This also leads their city to be in more danger, because now those mecha beasts that I mentioned earlier are now around full time. But fear not, the delivery guy joins the team. I like to call him Bobby, with his side sprite, which I like to call Pesky, because she is in love with Boxer. Now, he doesn't have an animal, but he does have a special locomotive that can called Locomoton, which transforms into Engine Man. It can shoot 3 special glasses that protect a 3D image, and it also has a special little train bomb in its chest. So they're basically trying to stop Baba, those 2 alien guys, and I think another one who I'll have to call Jaime, or that's not a Japanese word. Jaime also means princess in Japanese. I'm not going Spanish. Not that there's anything wrong with Spanish people, but that's besides the point. So basically, at the end of the season, it reveals that their parents, who they thought were dead all this time, were actually on another planet using their Biklonz to fight. And so at the end of the season, they're able to transport the island away and contact with their parents. But that's where the series just ends. No 6th series. We don't even know if they get back together with their parents or not. And those alien guys, that witch and Baba and Jaime are still there. They decided to remake another series, which I won't get into. So basically, that's my review of the Biklonz series. I'm sorry if some of that didn't make any sense, but there's literally nothing to go on. All there is is the Korean, and that's it. That's all there is. So if you guys want me to do more of these types of stuff, review more Korean shows that you have never heard about, I'll try my best to summarize it, give you the plot. So let me know in the comments down below. I don't update often, and I do. Please subscribe to my channel, and if you want the latest updates when I actually do that, hit that little bell icon. If you want me to do any more reviews, it doesn't have to be about. It can be about trailers you've seen, except for the Banana Splits movie. I will never review that. It's a whole thing, man. Don't get me into it. So basically, that's it. Well, I gotta go. So this is Jack Keller saying, see ya.